All right, what up? Peace, peace, peace. Just want to come back with another video, man. I want to do this a little, sorry, do a little part two. Damn, my fault. I just want to do a little part two on the 300 no video. And I just finished reading Judges, so like not too long ago, like last week or yeah, like last week, yeah, last week. So yeah, I finished just rereading Judges again, and I want to get into the 300 again and with Gideon and whatnot because a lot of things because I've seen a lot of people say that the story of Gideon whatnot the 300 comes from that, and that's kind of the 300 was actually real. There was actual Israelites. It was actually Israelites from, like I touched on part one, from the tribe of Dan and Judah. It was like a mixture of both, but I just want to get this account because I was doing some research last night because I was wondering because when because I heard that like teaching before that well they got the 300 from the story of Gideon. I've seen some people say that, but that's not totally the case. So it's just crazy that connection though, because the 300 was actually real. They were actually Spartans. They were actually real. They actually existed. Leonidas and all of them. They were that was actually real. And but this is kind of kind of low. I'm just gonna get into it because I want to expand on it. Because all right, let's get started. Judges chapter 7, verse. This cat gotta go. Oh, fuck. Judges chapter 7, I'll start verse 4. And the Lord said unto, this Judges chapter 7, verse 4. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people are yet many, and bring them down to unto water, and I will try them for thee there. And it shall be that whom I say unto thee, that this shall go with thee, then the same shall go with thee. So basically, it's a little recap of Gideon. We've been of course going off again, being wicked, rebelling against the Most High, and the Most High, sends us in captivity again under the Midianites, basically. So, but the Most High, he raised up Gideon to be a judge, just to deliver us again. And we go into war with the Midianites, and I think the Amalekites joined the Midianites as well. So, and Gideon was like, man, how am I gonna? There's so many of them. How am I gonna? How are we gonna win? How am I going to deliver? How I'm going to deliver Israel? And the Most High said, I think in the previous chapter of this chapter, he said, listen, man, because anything's possible with the Most High. Most High, you could be one man can beat the army. We see that with Samson. Most High put that spirit on somebody. One man can beat the army, or he what Most High can do. He can defeat his whole army. For his people himself, or send an angel to do it. So he said, I think in the previous chapter, he said, I'll make the Midian as one man, basically. I'm not sure what, I'm not sure what verse that was. I think it's the previous chapter or this chapter, basically. This is a little recap. So I'm going to read it again. Judges chapter 7, verse 4. And the Lord said unto Gideon, there are people are yet too many, bring them down unto the water, and I'll try them for thee there. And it shall be that of whom I say unto thee, this shall go with thee, the same shall go with thee. And whosoever I say unto thee, this shall not go with thee, and the same shall not go. So he brought down the people unto the water, and the Lord said unto Gideon, everyone that lappeth of the water with his tongue as a dog lappeth, him thou shalt set himself by himself. Likewise, everyone that boweth down upon his knees to drink. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand in their mouth, of 300 men. But all the rest of the people bowed down their knees to drink with water. So so the most I was going on here is that that's why in Proverbs said, "Prove that man receive foreseeth evil, and he remove himself, or be it like walk circumspectly, or having a guard up." Like in Sirach it says, I think Ecclesiastes, Sirach chapter 5 verse 15, it says, "Be not ignorant of anything." So the men that that the Most High is saying here, basically, that the men that were like, or basically were like down at the water, drinking water, like how dogs drink water, just looking at the water, not even paying attention. I'm gonna leave them there. That's because they're not paying attention. They're not foreseeing what's happening, what's going on. But the men that's like drinking water and like still like looking around, like, because you see some, like, in the animal kingdom, like, say if you see, I see pictures sometimes of lions doing that. Lions, like, they'll drink water, like, in the river or something, and but they're still looking up to see what's going on. Or sit some big cats, they'll, like, be drinking water but still looking up, being circumspect and being alert and being aware of what's going on. So that's why I like, actually, let me get this in Ecclesiastes real quick. Just real quick. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 15. It says, "Be not ignorant of anything in the great matter or small." So yeah, man, be not ignorant of anything, great matter or small. That's kind of, yeah. So it's kind of going to a lot of things. That's why I like that scripture. So yeah, but they can't be ignorant of anything big or small in that situation, because the Most High is saying right here, like, those who are just drinking water, like dogs drink water, or just not even paying attention, just drinking their water in the by the river. Those men, I know I'm gonna leave behind, but those men that's drinking, like I said, like the lion or the big cats or other animals that's like drinking and looking up and still paying attention, those is who I'm going to take with you. Those and the number that did that was, I'm reading again, 6. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, were 300 men. But all of the rest of the people bowed down their knees to drink. And the Lord said, Judges chapter 7, verse 7. And the Lord said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that lapped, I will save you, and deliver the Midianites into your hand, and let all the other people go, every man unto his place. So yeah, so Most High say, it was 300 men that did that, but I was drinking water, but was still paying attention. He said, those I'm gonna save. I'm gonna take them with you to deliver the Midianites into your hand. So yeah, that's just a little story. But Gideon and the Midianites, and we later we won the war, we defeat the Midianites and the Amalekites. So yeah, let me read that again, Judges 7, chapter 7. And the Lord said unto Gideon, by 300 men that lapped, I will save you, and deliver the Midianites into thine hand, and let all the other people go, every man unto his place. So basically, yeah, so it was 300 men that was Gideon. So I was doing some little research on that site, just looking up, because I had this on my mind. So because I was wondering, like, why did because part of me probably knew what came first, but I still want to do my research and make sense. To confirm, because with the battle for Thermopylae, with the 300 men, with the Spartans, did that come before Gideon's time, after Gideon's time? Probably knew that it came after Gideon's time, but I just wanted to know. So they did, because it was 480 BC. That's when the battle of Thermopylae happened, and Gideon's time came way before that. So I guess that's why it's been taught that the 300 was from Gideon, got the story of 300 from Gideon, but no, the 300 actually took place because I was looking at the little timeline. It's kind of with certain things in history and with scriptures, our history being taken away from us is kind of hard now, because if you try to look at different time periods of, like, where different people lived, or different prophets lived, and what happened each of these events, is you kind of get different things. So, but from my research, like, the time of Gideon happened like during the 1100 BC. So yeah, that was like years, way many thousands of years before the battle at Thermopylae with the 300 and the Spartans. So, but they were Israelites as well. They were Judahites and Danites. So yeah, basically, so because this taught, it was I seen few things people say that, oh no, the 300 came from story Gideon came from that, but no, I just found it crazy that that it must be just in the spirit that it was 300 men at the battle of Thermopylae with the Spartans, even though they went on to forsake the laws and statutes and commandments, the Most High, and they did their own things, or worshiping their own gods and had their own customs. Though that's why I say check out the series of the Brother Chronicles of Judah. He did a whole series like a year ago, like 2 years ago, no, probably last year. I think last year on he did a whole review on the movie 300, and he goes into the history of the Spartans and whatnot. Check that out. too, because it gives you more insight as well, and of course your own research as well. And just check out part 1 too, because I touched on the Frank Miller comic of the 300. So basically, what was I gonna say? So yeah, so Gideon takes place before the Battle at Thermopylae. Gideon's time period, of course. But I did some research last night just to confirm, because he's around the 1100s BC. So so yeah, it's crazy. Just find it crazy through the spirit, like that. The 300, the Most High in this situation had 300 men here, to deliver it into the Midianite soul. But then later on, those 300 men that with the Battle of Thermopylae, it's kind of that connection. But yeah, I'm just trying to. What else was I gonna say? Because yeah, with the 300, they were Israelites, because they left at the beginning of the Spartans. They left, like I touched on in the first part, or in the first video I did. They left, before the Exodus, basically. So it was Judites and Danites that decided to leave before the Exodus. They left a little before. Once we left Egypt, they left sometime before that. So it was a bunch of Danites and Judites that's when the Spartans start. They left. That's how they got their origin. And yeah, actually, I was reading Judith a few months ago, and actually, let me get it now, because I think I touched on everything I wanted to touch on. I think if I'm not missing something, I'm not missing something. But anyway, I was reading Judith a few months ago, and yeah, and it says, like, even this even confirms, like, if we watch 300, I'm gonna read Judith chapter 1 verse 7. It says, "And thou shalt declare unto them that they prepare." Actually, before that, let me just break it down a little bit, because if you even read the comic in the 300, it says, in the beginning, it says, when they came in, when the Persians came in, one of the messengers of the Persian came in. I'm forgetting his name. They said, declare earth and water. Earth and water means peace, basically. And if you watch 300 in the beginning of the movie, when he comes into the land where the Spartans are, he says, "I declare the earth and water." So that means, like, to make peace, like peace, basically. So I'm just reading Judith chapter 1 and 7. Is that when I was reading Judith a few months ago, that kind of stood out to me. So I was saying, back in the ancient world court, that means peace, basically. So this is just basically with Nebuchadnezzar. He calls Hornophanes. I'm pronouncing his name wrong probably, but he calls unto him, saying, like, what he's going to do, how he's going to conquer these different nations on the western. I think it was the western. Either in the west, all against all nations. I'm starting verse 1, Jude chapter 1 verse 6. He says, "And thou shalt." This book of Jude chapter 1 verse 6. He said, "And thou shalt go against all the west country, because they disobeyed my commandments." This is King Nebuchadnezzar talking to Hornophanes. I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but Jude chapter 1 verse 7. "And thou shalt declare unto that they prepare for me earth and water." That means peace. "For I will go forth in my wrath against them, and I will cover the whole face of the earth, and will give the feet of my army, and I will give them for a spoil unto them." So, this is Nebuchadnezzar saying what he's going to do, because, the story of Nebuchadnezzar. So basically, he's telling Hornophanes, basically, we're going to conquer all these nations, in all the West country, even more, because, but then he said, but I really want to focus on verse 7. He says, beginning, it said, "Thou shalt declare unto they that prepare for me earth and water," meaning peace. So, I'm just going to leave it right there, because, if you watch the movie 300, they say earth and water, so that means peace. So that's kind of confirms, that, I was just saying, back in that time in the ancient world, earth and water means peace. So I was watching that, and when you watch 300, that, in the beginning of the movie, that when the Persians come in, what was his name? Actually, hold on. I'm gonna get it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's a messenger from Xerxes' army, basically. So yeah, I'm just gonna read it. This is from the 300 book. So yeah, man, these from Frank Miller shows actually the real 300. They was so-called black men. There was Judites and Danites, basically. So Dan, I think mostly comprised of Dan and Judah. So I'm just gonna read some of this. And it goes in the beginning of the comic. It goes earth and water, and you will roll all the way from Persia for earth and water. So 300, if you know the story, they said, "No, no, y'all want to declare peace, because but then again, as you read on that doesn't happen. 300, like, listen, man, we go it out, we going all out, we not surrendering to nobody, man. So even though they still had that spirit, but even though they forsook the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, and started their own thing, but they still had that like spirit on them, though, that lion type spirit on them, man. So yeah, man, I would recommend y'all get this though, man. The Throw 300, yeah, has the actual, yep, these are the actual Israelites, the Dan and Judites, basically. So yeah, man, I just wanted to follow up, but with that for y'all, man, because I was doing the history though. Looking at history, Gideon's time period came before, so I guess that's why I was taught that they came. That's why it came from the Bible. No, came from the scriptures and came from the story of Gideon. But no, these 300 right here, there was actually like Danites and Judites. There was Israelites as well. In the battle of Thermopylae, it took place in like 480 BC. I could be wrong about that. Y'all can correct me, but yeah, that was actually real as well. So yeah, that's actually pretty much it on that, man. Hopefully this is edifying. So peace.